Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Glow Live. Oh my goodness. Whew, it has been a week. I'm telling you. I thought the worst was over last week when I had that emergency surgical procedure on my back in the emergency room. But I'm telling you, that was nothing. And I do mean nothing compared to this last week. But I'll share all about it with you as we get through me greeting everyone. So, how is everyone? How is your weekend going so far? Let's see who's in the house. Let me put on my glasses to see that. Hey, Marta. Thank you, Marta, one of my great moderators. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm almost at the end and I'll explain it to you. Hey, Sylvia. Hello, hello. Sylvie is in the house. Three generations, Iris. Hey, Lucretia's World. I haven't seen you in a while. How are you doing? I know you had some health issues, so how are you doing? Caroline Hannah's in the house. Hello. Tina. Hi, Tina. And one of my other great moderators, Nora, and also Lucretia is a moderator. Miss Net is in the house saying hello and greeting everyone like she always does. Nora says, just want to let everyone know that I'm having a big Etsy shop sale for 2 more days, discounted original artwork. All right, you guys, there's the direct link over to Nora's Etsy shop if you want to see some beautiful, I mean beautiful, beautiful artwork. She did a painting of my goddaughter's dog that got run over. That's what happened. And it was very sad. But when my goddaughter saw the dog, picture of the dog, the painting, she broke down into tears. So it was very, very touching. So go over and check out Nora's site. Maybe you might want to get a painting done of your dad or son for Father's Day or anyhow. Uh thank you, Nora. Thank you very much for letting us know. And there's the link. Who else is in the house? Um let's see. Uh oh great. Sylvie's gonna go over and look. Um, Miss Net says, Nora, I'm still trying to figure out if I'll be living in my vehicle or a house. When I know how much space I'll have, I'll definitely make a purchase. Well, that's cool, very cool, Miss Net. So, Miss Net, what are some of the factors I'm curious that are influencing you to do one versus the other? So, what are the bonuses that you see living in a vehicle versus the bonuses living in a house? And what do you think is going to be the deciding factor to make you choose one over the other? I'm kind of curious about that. Thank you, Marta. Yes, you all hit that like button. Hit that like. It really helps. Um, Hey, Muskegee Land is in the house. Good to see you. Carla, hey, finally caught alive. Well, I'm glad you did, Carla. Welcome in. Jojo, hi everyone. I saw Lindy on Go Mike this week. Oh, I got to go over and check it out. I called Lindy, but she was not doing well, and she said she would call me back when she was doing better. So I'm giving her some space and letting her, you know, yeah, she's had some a rough time with her channel, and I don't know all the details yet, but I've kind of surmised what's going on, and it's not fair, and yeah, and it's devastating for her, because she does count on that income, and she loves her channel and her supporters. But anyhow, she'll tell her story in her words, and I'm not going to try and tell it for her. Hey, Barbara. Hello. How are you? But thanks, Jojo, for the information. John's Deb is in the house, and let's see who's else is here. Hey, Kenneth. I'm back to my nomadic lifestyle. Really? So, what are you in, Kenneth? What are you doing your nomadic lifestyle now? Are you doing it full time, part time, or how are you doing it? And how long do you anticipate you'll be doing it for? I guess that really is the big question. Thanks, Miss Ned, for dropping those links. I really appreciate it. Sylvie says, beautiful work for sale on your site, Nora. You're a wonderful artist. She is. She's a very talented artist. Um, hey, Vaughn's on a roll saying hi to everyone, one of my great moderators. Oh, from Huntsville, Alabama. Carla. Now, how close is that to Birmingham? I've flown into Birmingham, but I've never been to Huntsville. Are they very close to each other? Yes, John's Deb, she does have beautiful paintings. Three Generations says, hello, everyone, sending much love and prayers. Thank you. We can take all the prayers and love we can get, can't we, folks? Um, yeah, Nora says, thanks, Debbie, a lovely fan of mine. Oh, that's sweet. Uh, everyone's saying hello to everyone. And hey, Mog Garden Oasis, happy weekend to you, too. Whoo, I'll be happy weekend tonight. Is it tonight or is it tomorrow? Might be tomorrow morning. I take the last of my meds, and I'll tell you why I'm so happy. Sylvie says, wow, Lindy, and it takes years to build a monetized channel. It does usually take years to build a monetized channel, but one thing going in Lindy's favor is she already has a support group. She has a subscriber base, and she has people who want to follow her, love following. I mean, if you just look up on Google, Lava Lindy, I mean, all kinds of stuff will come up about her. So it's not as though she's starting from scratch, but to have to keep doing it takes a toll, and it really takes a toll, you know. Um, Miss Net says, Vaughn saying hi to Garden Oasis. Uh, Miss Net says, glorious life on wheels. If you can figure out this whole solar thing, I'll live in my vehicle. I'm kind of nervous about living in my car with a fur baby. Now, are you going to be in a car or a van? When you say car, do you really mean car, Miss Net, or van? Now, what I would suggest is that you have a power station, a separate, rather than do a whole system with, all the stuff. I would suggest, and if I had it to do it all over again, I would have a power bank, like a Jackery or something like that. I would have a substantial one, maybe 2,000 hours or more, 2,000 watt hours or more, and I would just have it run up to a panel that was secured to my roof. That's what I would use, and then I would use I have, oops, excuse me. I have 3 or 4 of these, and I use these little power banks to power I get them on sale. A lot of times I've been finding them at Ross, like ones that are $49. I'm finding them for like $12 or something at Ross, or I wait until they go on sale on Amazon. But these, like, I love this one because, like, it tells you, for instance, what it's on, how much power it has left, and then it has a thing for an iPhone, but it also has one for an Android, and they're already connected. And I like that because you don't have to be looking for cords and finding cords and all of that. The other thing that I like is you can plug this in to a wall. It has this. So it has this on it, it has the cords, and it has also over here 2 things where you can plug it in to charge it to a charger. So I really, really, and I guess you could even charge it on your computer, I guess. But I have 2 or 3 of these. And I use these for little things like my phone or a lantern or that kind of stuff. And I use my big power bank, or I would use, if I were you, I would use my big power bank for like a refrigerator or a heater, but I'm going to tell you this, Miss Nat, it's no joke living full time in a vehicle. And it's a big I think the biggest thing is probably climate control, especially with a pet, because unless you're animal is a service, again, I'm guessing you have a, I don't know if you have a dog or a cat, but let's say it was a dog. Unless your dog is a service dog, you're not going to be able to take your dog in everywhere. And if you're somewhere where it's hot, that's going to a restrict your ability to go in places, and it's less of a challenge if you have a van that says say has air conditioning that you can run all the time and that type of thing. But I know we went to an event um a few years back, and I had a portable air conditioner, but now we were at a campsite that had power, so I just ran a line to the power, and I ran the portable air conditioner, and then I, because it got up to 107, so I checked on Cuddles on a regular basis, but it was, I mean, it was ice cold in that van. So it was, even though it was really 107 outside, it was very comfortable inside. But yeah, we can talk. Email me, Miss Annette, and we'll talk, and I'll give you my number. We'll talk about some things, and if you have any questions, the solar thing is not complicated. If you do it a simple way, it really isn't. Uh, let's see. Oh, so you have an SUV and a pop-up trailer. Oh, that's pretty cool. I really used to want one of those, I tell you, for so many years. And then finally I got the vans. But yeah, pop-up trailer is very cool. So where are some of the places? How are you able to park with the pop-up trailer? Because I wouldn't imagine, Kenneth, that you can park just about like in a neighborhood like you could if you were in just a regular minivan. So where do you find that you can park? Or do you travel a lot, or do you stay right in the same area? I'm kind of curious. Hey, Wanda and everyone. Hello, hello. Carla says it's about 2 hours. 2 hours. Uh-oh. What's about 2 hours? My mind's like a sieve. If I don't get it right there, I don't get it. About 2 hours. Everyone's saying hello to everyone. And Barbara says, hi, everyone. We'll look at the paintings from Memphis, Tennessee. Oh, my goodness. They're supposed to have some pretty good barbecue in Memphis, from what I've heard. Oh, boy. Um, Carla says, look up Montesano Park. Great camping and views. Oh, Montesano Park. Okay. Let me look. Where is it? Let me look that up right now. Montesano. Oh, my. I'll look it up a little later, Carla. I'm not going to be able to do it right now, actually. My phone, you can see there's a button there. There's supposed to be a button here, a power button. The power button fell off, and I couldn't get into my phone. So I went down to, where did I go down to? Some place where it fixes phones, and they said my phone is so old they didn't have the parts. But he did show me that I could tap on my phone and it would turn on. So I thought, okay, fine. I'll go online. I went online and they have the parts. You can order them, and I'm trying to get them ordered. Meanwhile, before I even ordered the parts, my phone died because I wasn't paying attention because I was so stressed out about not being able to turn it on. It died, and then I couldn't get it on at all, tapping it, and I realized you can't go on it. You can't tap and turn it on when the power's dead. So then I was panicking because everything I have is in that phone. As far as, I had several videos that I recorded that I was one day going to upload, hopefully soon. I had several videos. I had some work that I had done over the last 2 weeks, some research on a couple topics I wanted to share with you on all my phone numbers. I have 1,600, 15 or 1,600 phone numbers. Okay. All, so, because someone asked me, well, that when I was telling him my phone was dead and I was panicking, he said, why did you write him down in a book? I said, do you expect me to go through and write down 1,500 or 1,600 phone numbers and names? That's not happening. So I was so panicked, I was like, oh God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? So I went down to I found this other place called iSquad, and they said they fixed Samsung iPhones also. So I went down there, and I went down there and they they said they can fix it. They'll have the parts Tuesday. And he was able to do something, manipulated something inside the phone and got my power turned back on. Now I just have to watch it really closely and not let it die, because if it dies, I'm going to be in a world of hurt. But also, I went down yesterday. I said, that's it. That's it. That's it. I am breaking down and I'm buying a new phone. Well, I did. And guess what? I don't even know if I should tell you how much the phone cost, but it was a phone that I wanted and been wanting. And I needed a certain, because they showed how much gigabytes or whatever it is that I was using right now. And it's like 490 or something. So they said I needed the one with 500, which I probably do. That phone with that much, what do you call it, space or whatever, $1,500. 1500. I just about passed out. But then they said, since I've been a customer for so long, yeah, right. And since I've never even turned in for a new phone. I just, because I like my old phone. So my phone is so long that they said I had an offer for an upgrade, and they would give me uh 900 or $1,100 if I can turn in a phone. So I'm gonna find my old phone and go and I have 30 days to turn it in. So I'll get $1,100 off of it. So the phone will be $400. $400 is still a lot of money to me for a phone. So since it went from 15 to 4, I'm getting the phone. So I will have a new phone next week. Oh my gosh, but yeah, it was, you don't know the panic. How many of you would be in a panic if you lost your phone? I I I had to go onto my computer and message through Facebook my nephew to give me his uncle, my brother Donald's phone number, and to even give me Jess's phone number and give me some quick phone numbers that I needed. And I thought, when I go down to the place to get, this is before I went to get the phone fixed, I thought, at least if I go there, I can call these folks, because I knew there are several people who, if they call me 2 or 3 days and they can't reach me, they're going to be panicking and send police to come check on me. So I didn't want to deal with that. So I thought, I need to call these people and or communicate with them and let them know, hey, my phone is out. I'm okay. Just, it'll be okay. But anyhow, I got my phone back on and I'm getting a new phone Tuesday. Oh, that's been quite something. But anyhow, that's what's happening with me on that. Kenneth says, right now I have a couch to stay on, but full time by July. All right, by July. So are you going to go to Quartzsite in January, Kenneth? Or what are your plans in regard to that? Okay, everyone's saying hello to everyone. Hi, Jackie. How are you doing? And how are you holding up working part time? How is that working out for you? And I know you said the job was not anything like what you had. So, how is it going for you? Hey, Patty from Missouri. Hello, hello. Everyone else is saying hi to everyone. Uh, so 3621. It's a Volkswagen SUV. Okay. Well, that's more room than a regular car. Um, hmm. Well, we'll talk. Email me and we'll talk, and if you have some questions, I can answer them. Um, but again, I would this is what I would do, Miss Net. I would make a list of the benefits and the pros and cons of living in a house, and the pros and cons of living in a vehicle, especially an SUV or a car. And I can tell you again, one of the pros is having a hot shower on demand. That is a pro. Another one is having a refrigerator, but you can still have a refrigerator in a car or van. But having a refrigerator, being able to cook your meals, you know, easily, but you can do that, but you have to do some modifications. But one of the most difficult things, other than um, the climate control, is finding a safe place to park every night. That, depending on what part of the country you're in, that can be very, very challenging. Because I know, at least in San Diego County, they're really, and I hear in LA County, but I don't know for sure, they're really making it difficult for people to park in vehicles and sleep in them. They're just everywhere. They're not even allowing overnight parking in many places now. You can't park in certain areas after, say, 10 o'clock at night, from 10 to 6 or 10 to 5. So I would have I would have a plan. I would have found somewhere to park. If you're going to stay in a certain area, I would find an area or some places that you could park. I wouldn't park in the same place every night. I would rotate it maybe once a week, have 4 or 5 places and stay each place maybe a night or two, and a night actually and move to the next one. And I would make sure I know where the resources are in that area. And yeah, definitely need window covers. Need window covers. And what kind of what's your fur baby? How big is your fur baby? And can your fur baby go the night without having to be let out to go to the bathroom? I mean, these are a lot of things you don't think about when you're in a house, but when you're in a vehicle, you have to think about them, especially if you have a dog or a pet. Hey Wanda, how's it going? Maria is in the house, as is Susie Aspen. Oh my goodness. Everyone's saying hello to everyone. Hey Boulder Angel, hello. Does anyone know what happened to Lindy? I believe, I'm not sure. I haven't talked to her. I did call her, and she was not in any condition to talk at the time, and she said she'll get back with me. But I believe that her channel was hacked and taken down again. But someone in here just said that she was over on Go Mike, so you might go over there and check it out. And when I talk to her, I will let you all know. But yeah, she's been going through a hard time. So just hold her up in your prayers. Hold her up in your prayers that, I think it's time for her to make a trip maybe to YouTube and sit down with someone and find out what's going on. Everyone's saying hello to everyone. Miss Net is saying hello to everyone. Barbara says, I would love to have a travel trailer, but don't have a truck. My car is too tiny. A friend offered use of her truck, but don't like borrowing. A drivable RV is totally out of my price range. Um, I don't know what size car you have, but there are some small trailers that you can pull even with a Honda Civic, but they're very small, you know. But you could pull them. So I don't know how small your car is, Barbara, but there are some that you could take with uh, um, a car, or you could have someone build you one on a trailer bed. That I saw someone, I forget the name of his channel, he built one. It was like 35 square feet or something, but it had a bed, it had a kitchen, it had toilet. I mean, it was unbelievable, and he pulled that with his car. So anything's possible, Barbara. uh Jackie says, I have no solar. I do use my power station every day. Now, do you have a big power station, Jackie? I forget. And are you able to plug it in at work, or how does it work for you with no solar? Because Jackie is living in her vehicle, Miss Net. And how long have you been doing that for, Jackie? I forget what you said, but it's been a number of years. So, yeah, you need a power station. And I think, that's just me, I think for your comfort, I think you need a refrigerator. It's just it's just hard not having a refrigerator. And it's so nice on a hot day to be able to get a cold drink and not have to pay $5 or $6 for it at some, fast food. It's just nice to have certain things that to hold on to as many comforts as you realistically can. Um, Everyone's saying hello. Vaughn says Boulder Angel Lindy got hacked and started a second channel, but YouTube took it down. So YouTube took it down, or did the hackers take it down, Vaughn? I thought maybe the hackers took it down. Huh. So YouTube took it down? Now why would YouTube take her channel down? That's not making any sense. Okay, Kenny says I'll travel. I'm spending most of my time on BLM land. Oh, okay. So you must be spending a lot of time on the west side of the country, because most of the side on the east side, east of the Mississippi, there's not nearly as much BLM land. But I'll tell you one thing I did find. If you have the America the Beautiful pass, you can stay at Corps of Engineers campgrounds at National Forest, and you can stay there for half off. And I've stayed at some beautiful places ranging from $7.50 a night to $12.50 a night. So, the $12.50 a night had power, had hot showers included, was on a lake. So, if you have that America the Beautiful pass, I think it's worth it. Um, you can plug in, even if you only plugged in a couple 3 or 4 days a month, if you could do it at a really affordable price, it would, 2 days at a time, just could kind of, sometimes you just need time to regroup. And it's, a lot of times people will take a day, a month or so at a hotel, but you're talking about usually over $100. So to be able to do it for maybe $24 and have the power and the hot shower and everything else, I think it's worth it. That's just me. Carla says, you asked how far from Birmingham and Huntsville, Alabama is. About 2 hours. Oh, okay. So you're not that far from um, Birmingham, Carla. Yeah, I've been to Birmingham, but I have not been to Huntsville. Uh, Maria says, Marta, are you from the Blue Dot group? What is the Blue Dot group? I don't know what the Blue Dot group is. Jojo said about Lindy, it's very complicated, but she is banned from YouTube through no fault. What? Oh my gosh. I've got to talk to her. I got to reach out to her again and see if she's my guess. Here's what I'm guessing. And this is purely a guess, purely speculation. I'm guessing that someone who took over her other channel has put some inappropriate things on it that have caused her to be banned. That's my guess. And it needs to be straightened out. Oh my gosh. Oh boy. Oh boy. That was so important. I mean, that had become her channel had become a part of her identity and her friend group and her support system, and I just don't know what to say. Just please be in fact, let's just have a prayer for her right now. Dear Lord, we ask you if you would just reach down and surround Lindy with your love and your encouragement, and let her know that this isn't the end, that things are going to turn around, that often just before a breakthrough is when it looks the darkest, that often just before dawn is when it is the darkest. And if you could just encourage her and keep her spirits up, and we just ask and pray your hedge of protection around Lindy. Amen. Yeah, we'll just yeah. So yeah, Martin says I love Blue Dot. What is Blue Dot? Oh my goodness. Hi CW Style, how are you? Uh oh my gosh. Well, I'll try and keep you as posted as I can. Boulder Angel says I hope Lindy shows up here on Carol's Live to let us know what is going on. I'm sure she will eventually. I'm sure she's suffering, and I'd like to be there for her, but she's taking it one step at a time. Jojo said, if you have time, watch Go Mike, and Lindy explains exactly what happened. Okay. All right. We'll see. So we'll see. Okay, exactly what happened. I just, talking about someone being kicked while they're down, you know? Oh my goodness. Sylvie says, Google keeps backup of my entire Android phone in the cloud. Well, Sylvie, I have like two, what's it called, tetrabytes or whatever of storage, but I hadn't apparently transferred it all over. Now I did have when I went to get my new phone, the guy was able to open my phone because the other guy at the repair place, I squatted, opened it, and he said I did have some of my videos were saved on iCloud, but I didn't have my phone contacts saved. So he went in and did something that he said, now my phone contacts will be saved or supposedly will be saved. We'll see. I don't know. But yeah, I have iCloud, but I don't know how to use that stuff. iCloud, I stop, I go, I whatever. I don't know how to use any of that stuff. So yeah, and I wasn't even concerned about that at that time. I was just concerned about getting back into my phone. But yeah, you're right. iCloud is our cloud or the cloud or whatever is the way to go. So I'm going to go back down Tuesday. The two guys that work at Verizon, I said, now I need you both to be here so you can teach me how to do. And I gave them a list of things I need to learn how to do. And they're laughing. They said, we'll be here, Miss Carol. We'll show you how to do it all. I said, okay, all right. So I'm going to get a tutorial on probably, you know what I'm going to do? I know this won't make them happy, but I'm going to learn one thing every week. So I'm going to be in there every week having them teach me one thing to do on my phone because I can't tell you how badly this scared me. Oh my gosh. Um, oh, get lost. Yeah, it's get lost, Mike. Okay, it's get lost, Mike. Thank you, Marta. Um, uh, yeah, Maria, I know. Yes, $1,500, Miss Net. 1,500 smackaroos. I wasn't going to pay $1,500, obviously. I didn't want to pay 400. I still remember when my first phone, I got it for free because I signed up for a year or so and I got it for free. Free. Now they want, there's no more. Well, actually, I did get a free phone for Jess. It was a $700 phone and they gave it to me for free for signing up for something. But yeah, so I did get that. So actually I got $700 phone for free and I'm going to get 1100. So that's 1800. And then I'm paying I never get insurance on a phone. Never ever ever cuz I had my phone for 8 years. But excuse me, but I think on this phone I'm going to get insurance, but I figure by the time I pay for the insurance for 2 years, I've given them back but I think it's worth it because if you lose the phone or if it gets damaged, if you break the screen, they'll replace it free. If you lose the phone or it's stolen, they'll replace it I think for $200. If it gets broken or something, they'll fix it or replace it for $100. So I'm like, oh brother, that's poor. That's more than I paid for my first computer. That's more. Yeah. 1,500. Yep, yep, yep. I know, I know. But Rose said I needed 256 and I paid 1,200. Well, 1,200 for 256 gigabytes? Oh my gosh. See, here's what really ticks me off. My old phone, this is one of the reasons that I love my old phone, don't want to give it up. Because right here is a little slot. There's a little hole and you push it and it comes out. It has a slot where I can put an SD card in. And on that SD card, I can get like a 400, I mean, just really high gigabyte thing or whatever you call them for like $30 or $40 at Walmart. Well, to go from 250 gigabytes or 56 or whatever to 500, they want to charge you like $300 or something. Yeah, whereas I could get 400 for only $40. But what they did on the new phones, they stopped having that slot where you can add an SD card. Yeah, they're not slick. They stopped doing that, so you can't add your own. You have to go through them and they have to give you it on the phone. Oh, what a ripoff. What a ripoff. That's why I don't want to give up my phone, because I can add all kinds of, and I can go through and over and over and over. But anyhow, what can I say? Uh yeah, it is a lot off, Barbara. That's the only reason I bought it, but still $400 for a phone. Ooh. Caroline says you'd be in a panic if you lost your phone. I was. Can you believe me? Trust me, I was in a true panic. Nora says you're thinking of it as a phone. It's a friggin' computer. I don't care what it is. I don't want to pay $1,500 for it. And it's a phone to me because the only thing I do my phone, I call people, I text people, I may check directions on Google Maps, I video my stuff for YouTube, and I edit and upload it. That's it. I don't do all the 5 million other things that it does. I don't even know most of the stuff that my phone does. I didn't even know. I've had this phone for 8 years. I didn't know that you could tap it, double tap it, and it'll open. I didn't know that. I mean, all these things I've learned about this phone this week, I had no idea. But yeah, so I don't need to pay $1,500 for a phone I only do 4 or 5 functions on. Just that I can do most of those functions on a regular phone. So anyhow, the only reason I updated to the one that I got is because it has a great camera. And then he was saying, "Oh, it goes in, what is it? Not 1080, four something. I don't know, 5 something. I don't know what something it is." But he was saying the picture is better, and I want to do good quality work for YouTube and for you guys. So so I think what I'm going to do is only use that phone for YouTube and see if my tax person tells me I can deduct a certain percentage of it. I bet I could. I bet I could. Anyhow, yeah, it's, oh boy. But Patty says I keep a few important numbers in my wallet like my husband's son. Patty, that's a good idea, and that's what I'm going to do from now on. I'm going to keep a few numbers that are really important numbers to me. I'm going to keep them written down in a notebook so that I'll have them if this ever happens again. And I was thinking yesterday, I was actually thinking, you know what? I may get a landline. I may just get a landline, but we'll see. CW Style says, I would certainly be not happy either, like you. I know. Uh, Maria says it's a pain to program a new phone. I can't do it on my own. I have to go to Verizon. Oh yeah. My guys at Verizon, they're gonna take care of me. I'm not trying to program squat. No, I'm not even gonna try that. Maria. Sylvie says yes, a panic. I once had my phone stolen. Oh my gosh, that would be terrible. That would be terrible. Fortunately, I don't do banking on my phone, but you have your, if you bought anything with a credit card or Amazon and stuff, you know what I mean. So but hopefully no one can break into it or locked it. And I have a double, what does it call, a 2-step something, I don't know, 2 or 3-step certification. So hey, Linda Miller, hello, welcome. Jackie says, I get kicked out of the part-time job, back to off, no job. Oh my goodness, Jackie. I am so sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry to hear that. All right. Jackie, give me a call tonight if you would, maybe about 8 o'clock. If you can. If you can, give me a call at 8 o'clock. If not, we'll connect another time. I am just really sorry to hear that. Vaughn says, I refuse to use a carrier that requires you to turn the old phone in. Plus, I keep all my own phones, so all phone information is on the old phone or in the cloud on Google. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go online and I'm going to buy a phone that qualifies for like $50 because they were telling me the cheapest phone that I could get. And I said, okay, I would just go online, buy a cheap phone for $50 and then turn that one in. So that $50 will save me 200 and some dollars because it's only 900 if you don't turn in a phone and 1100 if you turn in one. But I'm not turning in my phone because I want to keep it. So I'm going to turn in an old phone that I get online is what I decided to do. Or I do have my iPhone 10 that I've never used. So I could turn that in, but I think online those sell for about $150. But I don't know if I want to. Why would I give 130 or 150? 130 or 150? I'm not really. Nah, I don't know. I'll see. I'll see. Caroline says, Maria, I always have them program my phone before leaving. Oh yeah, absolutely. Kenneth is saying he would love to be in courtside this winter, but doesn't know. Oh boy. Well, I hope to see you there, Kenneth. Hey, Denise says, I like this channel a lot, friendlier than other ones. Well, I hope we're friendly. We try to be friendly. Everyone is you know. And you know what, Miss Net, I did a tour of Jackie's SUV. So you might want to look at that to get some ideas on Jackie's SUV. But let me tell you what the title of this live was I was going to share with you. Oh my gosh. As those of you who were here last week, you know that I had to go into the emergency room last Friday and had to have a surgical procedure on my back because of a cyst that had just blown up, gotten enlarged, just terrible. So they had to surgically remove it and drain it and pack it and all kinds of stuff. Um, well, it had gotten terribly infected, and the doctor was afraid that I was at risk for sepsis. So he gave me back trim. Well, the first couple days, Friday and Saturday, I was fine. You know, no problems. I was fine. Took my other meds. I followed directions. They did say that it could increase the effectiveness of or the impact of my blood pressure medication, and that I needed to watch because my blood pressure could drop. So, but she said if I try and take them hours apart, so I take my blood pressure medication, then I took the other ones, the first dose 2 or 3 hours after that, and the last dose, 10 hours, 12 hours later. So, I'm fine through Friday, Saturday. By Sunday night, I was so nauseated. And I looked it up. That's one of the side effects of the Bactrim. I guess once it really got into my system good, and I've been nauseated since Sunday. I'm doing okay right now. So I took some ginger ale, some ginger tea, and it's kind of settled down a little bit. But I have been, oh my gosh, I cannot tell you. I cannot tell you how the room was spinning. I mean, so dizzy and just sick to my stomach. I mean, felt like I was just going to heave. I mean, oh, imagine feeling like that for 5 days. No, no, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, because I felt like that this morning. So 7 days. 7 days. I have I have it's either one or two more doses. I have never been so glad to get off of medication in my life. I can hardly wait. Oh my goodness. Yes. So that's what's been going on here. When I said it made me sick as a dog, it made me sicker than a dog. I mean, it was And I did everything they did. I made sure I had food. They said take crackers or a piece of bread, or I even sometimes tried something a little not greasy food. I try and do everything they said. Drink lots of water afterwards. I did that. I followed to the T, but it still got me. I mean, it really got me. Whew. But I'm looking forward. I figured I'm in the home stretch now. If I have to last another day, I can do it. I'm more time behind me than ahead of me on this med. So I'm cruising in, but I take another one and I know after I take the other one today. So I waited and planned it. So I'll take it after this live. Oh my goodness. Um, Sylvie says, for me, the big pro to living in a building was being able to stand up again. Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah. Yeah, being able to stand up. That people don't realize how important that is and how when you're crouched over. So if you're living in your vehicle, if you can spend a lot of the time out of it, doing things, going to the library, the senior citizen center, other things at the beach or wherever, that is a wonderful way to do it also, except for on rainy days, of course. Hey, Marilyn, how are you? Barbara says, what about using that Harvest Host becoming a member seems feasible for places to park? It is, but it's only for a day at a time. Sometimes I think they let you stay two, but it's only for a day, and they don't have them everywhere. I mean, they have them a lot of places, but they don't have them everywhere. So you have to be in a location. Um, but there's another group also, Boondockers Welcome, where people will let you park on their property, either in their driveway or somewhere on their property. So I mean, there are a couple of places, but what I would do is I would try and find something from Boondockers Welcome and see if I could work out an agreement. If I was working in a certain area and I was gonna be in a certain area all the time, I would see if I could get an arrangement with someone where they would allow me to park there, for an extended period of time. But oh, Sylvie, how are my fur babies? I don't even know how to answer that. I'll be honest. Mowgli is a freaking psycho. I shouldn't say that he's not a psycho, but he's just like a cannon. Woo, woo, woo. And he loves to pick at Cuddles. So I have to really get a handle on that because he likes to make Cuddles chase him. And he'll go around, he'll take a little nip at Cuddles and keep on running. And then Cuddles are like, I'm not interested. He'll keep going back and back and back till finally Cuddles gets fed up and starts to run after him. And so then he's in heaven. He's running up, down, Cuddles running after him. Well, Cuddles can't usually catch him, but when he does, he puts his head in his mouth, and he hasn't hurt him, but it's like he's warning him, stop. But I don't want it to get to the point that he decides, you know what, I'm gonna end this fella. But Cuddles is the most gentle, calm, peace loving dog ever. And now he's starting not to mind me. I told him to come inside the other day. I had them out in the backyard. And that's the other thing. I can't let them run around and play even individually in the backyard because there was a coyote sitting on my fence a few weeks back. So now I'm afraid to leave them in the backyard by themselves unless they're in one of the big crates that I have because I don't want to take a chance with a coyote getting them. So yeah, Mowgli is, and the other thing is with Mowgli, if I go out of the room that he's in and he can't come with me, he pitches a fit. I mean, a fit. He could. I had to leave him home for a couple hours the other day, and when I got home, he had barked so much that his little barker was hoarse. When he was barking, he was going, "Arr, arr, arr." It was hoarse from him barking so much. And my goddaughter did tell me that when he was there, they put him in the crate at night and he barked the entire night. That's one of the reasons she was so glad when I picked him up. He barked the whole night. That's like 8 hours straight. So yeah, those are the three things a couple of things that got to break him of that, and going after Cuddles. But again, Cuddles, I would whenever I would let Cuddles out, so now I have to be out in the backyard with him. I let Cuddles out and I'd say, Cuddles, okay, back inside. Cuddles would turn around and go back right back inside. Well, I told him the other night, I said, Cuddles, last night, Cuddles, inside. Cuddles looked at me, looked at Mowgli, looked at me again, and took off and went the opposite direction. Like, I don't feel like going inside. I was like, oh no, 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 no. We're not gonna have this. You're not gonna all of a sudden decide you're gonna follow Mowgli. I was hoping Cuddles would be a positive influence on Mowgli, but instead Mowgli's being influenced on Cuddles. Whoo, so it's having two dogs, especially one of them being a puppy, is like 5,000 times harder than having one calm dog. I've never had a puppy with another dog before. I've had two dogs, but never a puppy. And especially apparently lab or cock, whatever they're called, golden doodles are very, they're very, what can I say? So yeah, it's, I don't know. When I got him, they gave me till July 5th to bring him back. So the thought has crossed my mind. I have to be honest. It has really crossed my mind. Um, Especially, anyhow, it's crossed my mind. But the thing that really concerns me most is him picking at Cuddles. And I don't know, because he's going to get big. And I don't want him bossing, because he already tries to boss Cuddles around when he was little. So if he gets big, I can just imagine what he's going to try and do. So we'll see, Sylvie. It's a work in progress. He's in classes. He's in classes to become a service dog, and I go with them every week. And the trainer says she thinks he's got a lot of potential. He'll be a great dog, but I have to get through this puppy stage. So we'll see. We will see. Uh Vaughn says, "Hi Barbara HH, is it okay if you plan on moving a lot?" It's okay. I'm not getting that. Marilyn says, "I'm in Southern California. Absolutely no overnight parking allowed." Yeah, in a lot of places that's the case. There are designated overnight parking with security and showers. Some have more services, but you have to register and be allowed to stay. There are very few of those here. There's one in Oceanside. If you guys remember, I went down to City Hall, me and Jess, and we were down there picketing for, months on end. And they finally we were picketing for them to get a safe parking space. And they now have one in Oceanside, but they don't have showers and stuff as far as I know. And they also have one or two lots, I believe, down in San Diego. But that's it. That's it. And the one lot here, is very limited. And if someone is in a larger vehicle driving all the way down to San Diego and then back up to North Carolina, that's like, 30 miles or more. So that's 60 miles round trip. That's a lot of gas. You're almost paying for what you could have a whole night in a hotel with. So anyhow, uh hey, Lorianne says your data will transfer over to a new phone and your data is on the cloud. Thank you, Lorianne. I'm only going to transfer over some of mine because I don't want to, because I already have 400 and some gigabytes. I don't want to fill up my whole thing and then I won't have room for anything else on my phone. So I'm only going to transfer. He said we can go over and manually transfer over things. And I'm going to do that. Only the critical stuff will I transfer. Vaughn says, hi to Maryland. I'm in the Pasadena area. Yeah, a lot of us Southern California folks here. Denise says, be right back. Barbara says, I have a Nissan Versa Note and it really can't pull anything. Oh, okay. Okay. Jackie says, I keep it plugged into the car accessory. All right. Well, that'll work. Boulder Angel says, I wouldn't feel safe living in my car these days. Too many criminals and crazies out there, and the weather is too unpredictable. Well, there are a lot of crazies out there, but there are also a lot of good people. And just like anywhere else, you have to exercise good judgment. I mean, people have been accosted getting out of their car in their driveway. Someone follows them. I mean, you do have to be more vigilant, I believe, if you live in a vehicle, and more if you're just absent minded and you don't know any, oh, you're not conscious or aware of your surroundings. No, it's probably not for you, because that's not a good thing to be if you're living in a vehicle. But if you're conscientious, vigilant, aware of your surroundings, use common sense, listen to that voice inside of you that says, you may not want to park here. If you listen to your instincts and your intuition, that's over half the battle. Quite frankly, that really is. Uh, Thank you, CW Style. Do keep her in prayer. Um, Barbara says, Vaughn's on a roll. You've tried Harvest Host. Does that mean you can't remain but 1 or 2 days? Usually, from what I understand, it's 1 or 2 days that you can stay at Harvest Host. It's not, it's because it's a business. Usually, often they're businesses like a winery or, a museum or something. And, they're limiting on how long you can stay. Now, I did find someone, I don't remember whether it was on Harvest Host or Boondockers Welcome, that I talked to them and they said they would be willing for a fee to let me stay for a week. This is when I'm going cross country if I wanted to. So, I mean, but I think that was Boondockers Welcome, where they let you stay for free, but they let you stay for free and you just, belong to Boondockers Welcome. Vaughn says ice chest at the least. I did the ice chest, Vaughn, and it was miserable. I mean, really miserable. The ice was always melting, and then you had to empty the water, and then a lot of times the food got wet. It was just a mess. I finally decided I couldn't do an ice chest. I had to have a refrigerator. And they have very small ones now that you can, I mean, what a 18-20 quart one that you can and they have ones that just sip power. I mean, hardly take any power, and you can at least keep a few cold drinks in it, cold water. You can keep, you know, a few things, maybe 2 or 3 days worth of food, for if you want fresh food and fresh. A lot of people aren't eating meat anymore, anyhow, or hardly any meat based on the cost of meat. But you can keep, just some things in there that you keep refrigerated, maybe juice, maybe coffee creamer, maybe, just things that it's really nice to have on hand and have cold. Uh, Kenneth says, my pop-up has a light weight of 2,030 pounds. That's a good weight, Kenneth. That really is. Now, Kenneth, your pop-up, does it have a stove in it and a sink and a kitchen? Because some of them I know on the back side have that. Some of them have stuff inside. I'm just wondering, most of them I've seen have a portable toilet, cassette toilet type of thing. Uh Hello, Mimi. How are you doing? Vaughn says, Carol, yes, YouTube took down her, possibly banning her on a technicality. I would say she needs to. Although when I went up to YouTube, I almost got arrested. Oh, they threatened to arrest me. Oh, that's a whole nother story. But I think she needs to take a trip up there and speak to someone, or try to speak to someone. If the crazy security guard that was there when I went up there isn't there, she might have a chance. Kenneth says, that sounds like a great idea. I'll see about getting that pass. Oh, I loved it. I love the America the Beautiful. And you get into national parks for free. And I don't think you get a discount on the camping at national parks, but you get into them for free. And yeah, Corps of Engineers, National Forest. I went up to Shasta something National Forest and stayed there for $7 or $7.50 a night. Then Waco, Texas. There's a beautiful Corps of Engineers campsite right on the lake there. And I mean, there are a lot of places that you can use that at. So I just love that America the Beautiful Pass. Patty says, I've used Pass at COE. Oh, Corps of Engineer campgrounds too. Some real nice. Yes, some are the one I stayed at was extremely nice. I had a covered patio and a table, a fire pit, a a barbecue grill. Hot showers were free, and I was right on the lake. I mean, literally, I could get out of my car and walk about 12 steps, and it would be in the lake. I mean, it was just amazing. Um, Sylvie says, yes, I think probably Lindy's hackers did something illegal. That's what I'm guessing because Lindy hasn't done anything and wouldn't do anything to get her channel taken down. So I think they must be connecting her to the old channel, and they've done something that they should not have done, and they've punishing her for it. That's my guess, but I don't know. Yes, Miss Net, amen. Thank you, Barbara and Sylvie. Yeah, don't give up, Lindy. Do not give up. You know. Thank you, Iris. Marilyn says, Pasadena is very nice. Haven't been in years. I was born and raised in Hollywood, and my best friend Wigmore family was a founder. They have a street named after him. Wow, that's very cool. Vaughn says, Carol, the hackers did something wrong and they're punishing. That's what I believe. That's what I believed. I hadn't even watched Get Lost Mike, but that's what I believed happened is they did something wrong, which has impacted her ability to have a channel. So she needs to get that straightened up, straightened out. So it's a channel in Corpus Christi, Texas that follows government events. What is a channel in Corpus Christi, Texas, Martha? Hi, Liza. How are you? So Liza is Nora's niece. Good to see you, Liza. I haven't seen you in a while. I'm so glad to see you here. Uh, Maria is saying hola to Liza. Oh my goodness, everyone's saying hi to Liza. CW Styles says, thank you, Kira. I'm well. I feel so bad for Lindy. I do too. I mean, because she really worked to start getting her other channel going. She had 15 or 1700 subscribers. And then for this to happen, just as she had kind of gotten past the other and had decided, okay, that's gone. I'm not going to get it back. I need to start all over again. And for this to happen, it's just heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking. Vaughn said, another reason I would never buy an iPhone. My phone isn't an iPhone, Vaughn. It's not an iPhone. Marta says, Maria, bad storms coming in Southwest Ohio. Charging my cell now if power goes out. That's a good idea, Marta. Good idea. World Traveler. Hello, World Traveler. Says, Miss Lindy can't catch a break. I know. I know. All the things that have happened to her throughout her life would have brought down a less stronger spirit. You're right about that, World Traveler. She reminds me of, the unsinkable Molly Brown. She goes through it and gets to the other side and keeps on going. And that is an admirable trait. But at some point, it wears you down, But that's why I'm asking everyone to just hold her up in prayer and just, it says the what is it? Prayers of a righteous man, the fervent prayers of a righteous man availeth much. So I'm asking all of you to fervently pray for Lindy and that this gets resolved and she gets her channel back. Maria says, Marta, stay safe. That is scary. Yeah, it is. Oh my goodness. Nora says, I had landline for almost 50 years. I finally got rid of it as the only calls I ever got on it were scammers and marketing. Yeah, I know, but after this scare with my cell phone, I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to get a landline. I got to see how much they charge me. They had some, I think, senior plans that were like $10, $15 a month, but I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a landline because, yeah, this was terrible. World Traveler says if you get a landline, it will open you up to a lot of spam calls since the majority of people are older people. But now, don't isn't there something where you're supposed to be able to sign up for something so you don't get those calls? There's a number that you can sign up. I know I did that when I had my landline. Marta says I still have my landline. Nora says World Traveler, you're correct. That's why I got rid of it. It was a hard decision, but I'm fine without it. Yeah, there's a number you can get on a list where they're not supposed to be able to call you. Oh, Sylvie says, "What happened to your meds, Carol?" I was. That's what. Oh, I guess you probably heard it by now, but they made me so sick, Sylvie, so sick, and I shared that a few minutes ago. Vaughn says, "I keep an old phone to do all my online stuff, and just log in with Wi-Fi. I rarely touch my data on my cell." Oh, okay. Well, everyone does it a little different. Maria says, "Got rid of her landline too." Oh, yeah, it was miserable. So it was. But I only have tonight to get through and tomorrow's dose, and then I'll be home free. And I guess it'll take a couple days to get out of my system. I can hardly wait, I'm telling you. Oh, uh, well, this one was the one that he said really is the best one to accomplish what he wanted. And that's why he gave it to me. But it's very strong. And since I only have, I was going to call and, because I thought, oh, first I thought, well, it's just, fluke. Just got sick this one day, but then it went for a couple, three. But by the time I thought maybe I could call and get some compazine or some anti nausea medicine, but then by the time I thought, I only have a couple more days. I can last, you know. And I wanted to make sure I had the best medication that was for what he wanted it for. So I just powered through. But oh my goodness. Woo. Um, hey Nessie, Nisi from LA. Hello, hello. Maria says, "Oh, thank goodness you're on your last doses." I know. Woo, I am so glad. Vaughn said, "Maria, I took Keflex when I was little. Still remember how awful it made me feel." Oh my goodness. Yeah, I might as well just stay on what I'm at. I'm almost done. Maria says, "Vaughn on a roll. Wow, that's awful. Well, at least you know to tell your doctor you're sensitive to Keflex." Yeah. Um, Kenneth says, "My pop-up trailer is a linear or liner type. It does let me stand up." Well, that's good. That is great, Kenneth. That's really good. Susie said Lindy needed a root canal last update. She decided to just have it pulled, and the dentist refused. What? She needed a cardiac clearance and pre surgical medication, most likely. Well, let me put it like this: if you have a root canal, you probably need just as much pre-surgical dental as you would for uh medic for an extraction. I mean, honestly, an extraction I think is a lot less pressure on you than a root canal. Just being someone who's had both, I prefer the extraction over the root canal as far as discomfort. But so I don't understand why they would refuse. He refused to. Oh my. Mm. Sylvie Cuddles looks at me sometimes like, "How could you do this to me, Mom?" And here's the bad thing. I have to admit, I shouldn't admit this to you, but I will. If I leave out of the house and let Cuddles loose and he can roam all over the house, he chooses not to stay in the room where Mowgli is crated. So Mowgli has really pitches a fit, and he's so loud that you can hear him even with the windows closed, and he gets all the other dogs in the neighborhood barking. So what I do is I now put Cuddles in the room with it, and I have to block the door so Cuddles can't leave. I mean, so I hope Cuddles doesn't have a nervous breakdown. But so Cuddles, because if he Cuddles stays in the room with him, he'll settle down after a few minutes. But if he's left in that room alone, it's on, it's on, it's on. So poor Cuddles. Yeah, he is. Sylvie, Cuddles is wondering. And sometimes Cuddles will just, when Mowgli has just really been a pain, Cuddles will sit down and he'll look at me and he'll just stare at me. And when I see him staring, I have to look away. I can't face him. I can't face him. Oh my gosh. And then Cuddles, I'm trying to give him extra attention because Mowgli is so demanding and high maintenance. So Cuddles came over and he just came over and he jumped up and he put his legs over me and put his head on me and just for me to pet him and, soothe him. And then when I did that, Mowgli got all upset and started barking and, everything, like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? And Cuddles just looked up at me and then put his head back down. So I just said, this is your time, Cuddles. This is your time. Whoo, boy, I tell you. Caroline says, KOA Santa Fe is currently looking for Camp Host, New Mexico. Oh, Santa Fe. I love Santa Fe. That would be very cool if anyone's looking for that. Oh my goodness. Anyone out there looking to be a camp host? Check that out. KOA Santa Fe. Thanks for sharing that, Caroline. Barbara says, sorry to hear about your illness, Carol. We'll be glad when your med is completed. Me too. God bless. Boondockers will write that down too, and BLM land. Yes, absolutely. I know coyotes and hawks do go after little dogs, Maria. So I have to be really, really careful. Ellie says, hi, everyone. Talks to Lynn or her son. Let them know. Replace her SD card for a camera. That should help her upload videos. Okay. But she can't upload them if she doesn't have a channel. That's part of the problem. She doesn't have a channel now. Maria says, oh no, I hope you're able to keep him. We will see. Maybe on the next live, I will have him on so you can see what a rascal he is. But he's cute. He's so cute. He is so cute. He does grow on you. He does grow on you. Lorianne says, get a squirt bottle for Mogul. It will redirect him. I tried that, Lori. The first two times it did. The third time he just put, when I got the squirt bottle, he put out his tongue. Yep, that's what he did. The third time I got the bottle out, when he saw me pull out the bottle, he opened his mouth and put out his tongue. So that doesn't do any good. It did for the first two times, and after that, it was ineffective. And when he goes after Cuddles, I had a little washcloth, and I think I told you guys because he was like, sometimes when I tell him no or do things, I would swat him with the little washcloth because a washcloth you can't even feel it hardly. I would just swat him mostly to startle him. And what he started doing, because when we're in the backyard and I do that, when I would say no, right after I'd say no, he'd run over to the other side of the yard and sit down and start barking at me from across the yard. So, yeah. So I'm having to, come up with different things because it's like, you know what it's like? It's like a car burglar. Every time you think of a device to keep them from ripping off your car, they bypass it. Then you have to come up with something else and then something else. So, whew, I tell you. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Nora, about letting us know about this sale. Go on over and check out Nora's shop on Etsy. Artwork by Nora K at Etsy.com. Just beautiful, beautiful artwork. Maybe you might be interested in getting something for Father's Day. And yeah, Barbara says pets are something else and a lot of fun. I'm babysitting my daughters rather, 2 dogs, 2 cats, a pit bull and a shepherd. Wow. I watched the shepherd bully the pit. The pit doesn't realize it has locked jaws. I know. Oh, isn't it funny how one dominates and the one that really could be the Terminator? All right. Thank you, Nora. Have a great week. All right. Well, I'm gonna get. Ooh, it's 4:15. I didn't realize how late it was. All right. Well, turn on radio, talk radio, or TV when you leave. I'll try that, Lori. Thank you. Thank you. I will try that. Good idea. Yeah, that was crazy. All right, folks. Well, I'm going to get off of here. Hey, Judy, I haven't seen you in a while. Did you make Sharon's meetup? I sure wish I could have gone to that, but things just I was not able to. Don't forget to smash the like. I'm driving so I can hear, not leave comments. Good to hear from you, Judy. I'll have to give you a call. We'll have to talk maybe this week coming up. All right. Ellie says she needs to renew her SD card. It's not compatible. Hmm. Uh Everyone coming from smoggy Southern California. Oh, it's not well, it's overcast here because in a coastal area it tends to be more overcast and smoggy. Thank you for yes, keep Jackie in prayer. She was full time, then they stopped her from working altogether. Then she went back to part time, but in a horrific job. And now she's not working at all. So, yes, do keep Jackie McDonald in your prayers, folks. Patty says, did you get a chance to check out the Elevate Branson Tiny Home Village for low income? It looks good. I did not. I will check that out, Patty. Thank you for reminding me. Just had so much going on this week and so sick and everything. I have not. Um, yeah, I would have to agree, Vaughn. If you don't have a channel, it doesn't matter what your card is. You can't do anything. Uh I have the kitchen, but the bathroom is a bucket. Oh, you know what I really like? I really like that clean waste toilet. I love it, love it, love it. You might check it out. I've had mine for like 4 years and then 4 or 5 years. I love those clean waste toilets. It's a plastic one, but it's durable. Uh Barbara says, sweet Carol, unbelievable about the arrest part. Yeah, I almost got arrested. I guess I told that story a while back. I might tell it again later. All right, well, I'm going to have to go, and I know I'm going to miss a lot of comments, but I will talk to you all next week. I've been working on a really interesting video on AI and Social Security, two different ones actually. And that's one of the reasons I was so upset when I thought that my all my content was gone. But I will see you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I know I'm missing a lot of people. I'm at the end, and I see Billy Clover and M. Connie is in the house. Uh, Thank you. Have a wonderful, blessed week. And anyone who has a channel, if you want to real quickly put C down and I will call you out. And if you are first time in the house, put a number 1 so we can welcome you. I'll give you the good old Globy welcome. Yes, thank you for my moderators. Thank each and every one of them. All right. Well, da 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 da. Well, it looks like no one's putting up a C or a 1. So I will see you all. Love each and every one of you. May your journeys be filled with joy and blessings. And I will see you next time. Let's see if I always have a problem signing out.